So, the side effects of antidepressants. I've taken antidepressants on off for 10 years, maybe a few more. Sertraline was my last one. Crazy side effects of that. Brain waves, I think they're called. Now, it's quite dangerous really, because I found if I forgot to take a tablet in the morning before work, I knew I was in for a day of hell. And not just in the way I felt, but the physical side of how I felt as well. I was so anxious, so depressed, and I was getting dizzy, and not just dizzy spells, I mean to the point where it felt like my head was getting pulled sideways, and my vision was going like that, and it felt like I was getting pulled sideways. That was visionary. Is that a word? Visionary? Or visually disturbing, especially when you're working at height, or doing any sort of work really. That's dangerous. I mean, I was working at height, and I was lifting heavy things at height. Also, I drive lorries, so that can be very, very dangerous. So when I weaned myself off the sertraline, by the way, I started off on 50 milligrams, I believe, and I went up to 100 milligrams because it didn't seem to do a lot to me. So when I weaned myself off, those brain wobbles, brain waves, wow, they were pretty much constant every hour for 7 to 14 days after. Is intense. Something I'm so glad I come off them, because I'm very forgetful. I don't know whether that's the anxiety, depression, or because apparently a lot of people do get forgetful when they suffer from anxiety. And obviously when you're rushing around in the morning, I get up really early for work, a lot of the time before 6 a.m. So you're rushing around, and you'd think after so long that you just go straight to your medication, but when you're tired, I don't know, things just slip your head and you forget to take it. So that pretty much sums up visually. Libido, sex drive, nothing. I mean, nothing at all. Not even the slightest, not even a semi-lob, or not a quarter. Just nothing at all, nothing. Nothing was doing it for me. And I like to think I'm quite randy as well. And I have been in the past, but this completely just shut everything off completely, massively, to the point where I've had my girlfriend crying, in, you know, where it's just been months really without any sort of like sexual urge, and not just sexual either, any sort of like any love and affection, nothing whatsoever. Nothing is interesting. And I'll tell you what, it's not just sex drive, nothing is interesting, absolutely nothing. And I sort of felt like that anyway, because I was depressed and I was anxious, but this just makes you numb, absolutely numb, and you don't care. I mean, obviously some part of you inside cares, but really you're just like, oh, fuck this, I just can't be fucked with it. And your partner will come on to you and you just like make up excuses, and obviously that's just a whirlwind then. Obviously your relationship's on the line, because who wants a sexless marriage or partnership? No one. It's a big part of being in a relationship. So that was probably one of my main reasons for looking into TRT, and secondly actually coming off SSRIs in the first place. SSRIs, it was the sertraline that I'm on. That was a big part of me coming off. So if you suffer in that department as it is, don't take antidepressants. Try and find another way around it. I know that sometimes there's no other ways. There is. You got to try and make yourself eat well and have exercise. I know sometimes antidepressants seems like the only way, but there is better ways. There is. I mean, I've looked into TRT now. I've been on it nearly 4 weeks, and it's I'm perking up a bit. My well-being is higher, slightly higher than normal, and I'm more emotional, I'm more in tune with my emotions. It's like an emotions enhancer. I feel like all my emotions have been enhanced. And that's just not on the happy end, that's on the sad end as well. I mean, when I'm down, I'm really, really down. Like when I was really depressed and on antidepressants. And when I'm high, I'm like, bloody hell, I haven't been this hyper excited and happy in years and years and years. This is amazing. But I'm not, it's taking you away from that numb feeling, you know, which antidepressants does to you. It makes you completely numb, out of tune. You're not even yourself anymore. So sleeping has always been my enemy anyway. But on antidepressants, this is all negatives, I know, because mainly it's for me, there was a lot more negatives than what there was positives. So I struggle with having nightmares and not being able to sleep. I mean, I wake up frequently throughout the night, between 10 and 20 times, but I do manage to get straight back to sleep pretty much. But like I said, I wake up constantly. This, wow, trying to get to sleep was virtually impossible. And when I did sleep, it was very, very, very light. Constantly waking up. And when my alarm went off in the morning, it was like absolute hell. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse than getting out of bed. Going to work felt impossible. I managed to do it, but it felt like, why am I doing this to myself? What is this work thing that we do? Why should I be doing this? Why don't I just go away and live off the land somewhere, you know? I wanted to go to Thailand or somewhere like that and just get away from it all. Which is still an amazing idea, but it's not realistic for me. So when I was trying to wean myself off them, it got even worse. The night sweats, wow. I would wake up absolutely drenched to the point where my girlfriend would just touch me, and a bit like how I look now actually, because I'm sat in the bath, like a hot tub, jacuzzi in. She'd be like, and I don't know if anyone's ever peed the bed, but there's like a big puddle. I used to get really, really off my head. There used to be a big puddle taking up near enough half the bed. That was from sweating. Luckily we've got a spare room, so I used to sleep in there, have all the windows open. Cold turkey in basically. I never felt that hot, but I wake up absolutely boiling throughout the night and sweating my nut off. So the other one, Citalopram, I was on that for a good few years. And that was quite intense actually. Getting onto them. Your first sort of 3 weeks in that, I think actually like maybe it would make me gurn, you know, like when you're coming up off, you know, ecstasy, if you've ever done anything like that. You sort of, your chin would go, and my chin was like shattering as if I was coming up. Like when you do when serotonin's through your body, and that's what's actually happening. The serotonin is flowing through your body, and that must be just your happy hormone bubbling up. But did I feel happy? No, I didn't. No, not like what I did when I was on ecstasy. When I was, my jaw was growing, and it wasn't nothing like that whatsoever. And I found with, no matter how long I took Citalopram, I had to, say I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I had to actually set my alarm for 5 o'clock in the morning, take my tablets, and then try and nod off, go back to sleep, just so when I did get up, I felt sort of numb and normal, not scared to go out my house, even though I still was a lot of the time. Get so anxious that I would be scared to leave the house, and when I would leave the house and get on the bus, I'd be scared to get off the bus. I'd be just doing circuits in the bus for like 4 hours until I had to it got dark and I could sprint home again. So yeah, I only felt like that worked once you actually took the tablets. I didn't feel like, you know, you sort of build up your dose and after 4 weeks you start feeling normal. I just felt like I only felt normal after actually taking the tablets each time. Coming off them, it was similar to the Sertraline. Just hell, a living hell. I would say try and change your lifestyle first. And it sounds so stereotypical, I know, what your GP is going to tell you, but it's the best way. Diet is huge. Diet is massive. But if you're anything like me, you could not get the motivation to exercise and prepare food. Just go to the burger van every morning and eat shitty supermarket meal deals at dinner time, full of mayonnaise and calories and shit and sugar. So, I mean, what I've looked into is testosterone replacement therapy. Look into it, people. I know it's massive in America, sort of not so big in the UK at the minute, but there's private doctors out there. There's brilliant doctors out there at the minute that'll help you and guide you along the way. Just search for it, testosterone replacement therapy, TRT. You may have a hormone imbalance somewhere. I think that's what my problem's been. Trying to figure out what's going on in my head. Why am I depressed? Why am I anxious? Why am I sad? Why am I angry? Check out TRT. Go to a doctor, check your testosterone levels, check your hormone levels. That's probably the most important thing, getting your body chemistry right. So go to a doctor and check it out. There's plenty of people that's willing to help you out there. You must have friends, family, someone. There's loads of people on the internet, loads of people to ring, loads of people to email. Just do it.